And we are also pleased to have you on the FLO-BIG platform, initiated by our mentors, Aditi Parekh, Kiran Sevani, and Purva Damani. We welcome you heartily, and we are really looking forward to gain some knowledge. And all people familiar with the art scene in Ahmedabad would know Bina, Nanavaty, and Pinki Godiawala, a powerhouse of talent and knowledge. Bina has the most discerning eye when it comes to art. She's an art advisor. Pinky's photography on Insta makes it tough to make out whether it's painting or photography. Her subjects are a slice of life. Over to both of you now. And please mute everybody so that we can hear them properly. Not Bina and Pinki.
Hi, Bina.
Hi, Pinki.
So what is art according to you, and why art?
Whenever I'm come across this question, I get reminded of Piraji Sagra. There was a talk by him, and somebody asked him this question, and he said, "Hu je karute art." This answer has really struck a chord in my mind, that an artist, when his creation, he's able to engage the viewer's mind through his creation. He has achieved what he set out for. So according to me, creative art is something that can engage a viewer's mind. Like when I was running an art gallery, many people used to come and ask for art with certain colors or pleasant art so that it would look nice in the living room. I think art is not always beautiful. Like if you see Robin Mondal or for that matter, Souza or K.G. Subramaniam, lot of artists, their art, I wouldn't say is beautiful, but it definitely engages your mind. It makes you think. And that is what I feel is the purpose of art. Now, if you ask why art, I'll take you back to 14th, 15th century in Europe. That time, lot of kings were patronizing artists, and the paintings were glorified, that the churches were decorated, and art was sort of limited to all this. Then artists like Claude Monet, Renoir, Degas, they brought in a different direction. So, so before that, it was Renaissance period, Neoclassicism also. They were sort of parallel. And then these people brought in Impressionism, and then people like Van Gogh, and he brought in Expressionism with his bold colors and strokes. And like that, if you go to see the history of art, lot of different movement happened, like Cubism by Pablo Picasso, then say pop art by Andy Warhol, Surrealism by Salvador Dali, to modern art by Paul Cézanne, to graphic art, to street art. But if you go to look at like the art in 14th century, which I was talking about, Italian artist called Martini painted on a machine which was run by men, but it had 4 wheels. And this set off the imagination of technicians, engineers, and today what we see as automobiles, our cars, is actually the outcome of that painting on canvas by Martini. We all know that Leonardo da Vinci was also an all-time genius, And he, in 1478, he painted an engineer-like painting of a machine with 3 wheels. So maybe the aeroplanes are outcome of that. But so artists and art have this power to uplift, empower, to set off imagination. So I mean, I cannot imagine life without art. Artless life is not a life, according to me.
Bina ma'am, talk something about contemporary art practices and the other artists.
Sure. So before that, contemporary art, you are talking about India or general? I think
in general, we can have a big perspective.
India. So in India, what happened, like I can trace it back to say 3 millennium BC. And that time the cave paintings and rock art was initially found. Then the Mauryan period, no, then Indus Valley civilization was there. We all are familiar with the seals found during that time, the dancing figurines found during that time.
Right.
And then all this Mauryan art and Buddhist art, and at the same time Jain art, because while Buddha was in the east, Mahavir was prevalent in the east. So those kind of paintings which were done on palm leaf were more popular. I mean, was the call of the day that time. And then Mughal art came, and then Britishers came over, so that company art took over. And then once they, during that time, Raja Ravi Verma was, he got a press and he started his prints, which were very popular. And then once Britishers left, initially a progressive art group was formed in Madras by Panikkar, and there were 4 members, Raza, Souza. They gradually formed the progressive art group in Bombay, and there all these people joined, Raza, Souza, Hussain, Bakre, like many of them. So their art we all are familiar with, like Tayyab Mehta, Akbar Padamsi, Ram Kumar. But then the new artist took the art again into a very radical new direction. And those artists are like Nalini Malani, Subodh Gupta, Viman Sundaram, Jitesh Kalat. So just to talk about Nalini Malani's art, she works into terracotta, and her sculptures are really museum quality work. And as you know, Subodh Gupta uses daily utensils like steel plates or steel pots or copper, bronze, whatever, but the used daily utensils, and he creates his artworks from there. So it could be a head, or it could be a waterfall with just the steel plates, or like he has many creations to his credit. The same about Vivan Sundaram's art, and Jitesh Kalat is very famous, became very famous because he created that car from plaster of Paris, but it was like a life-size model, which was displayed in Art Summit. And now there are a lot of new artists which are doing a lot of different work, which is like, how should I say, they are they they are more into concept analysis. They are more into experimenting with the procedure, with the material. And they may not be selling that much, and their means of earning are different, and their art is different. So I'll show you some photographs. I'll just share my screen.
Can you share your screen, or should I ask Chitra to do it?
No, I think I can. Just 1 minute.
Great.
I want to just go to my album, which I have created specially here. So these are the new generation artists. This fellow, can you see?
No.
No. So then now can you see?
No.
Now?
Okay. Yep.
Yes, you can see, right? Great. So he is Hardeep Pendal. He is a second generation Britisher, but of Indian origin. So his work, as you can see, is satirical, and he called one of his exhibitions Resistance Through Rituals, and he is trying to talk about his identity. Now we'll
This is
go
awesome.
Yes, I personally find these new artists very different, and the way they work is something amazing. I'll just every time I'll have to go to photos to get this, because it's not coming. Now can you see?
No.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so she is Parul Gupta, and her visual language is just a line. Through the medium of line, she tries to explore the space. So the creativity is taken to a different level with these people's works. Her price could be anything from 50,000 to 5 lakh, but that doesn't matter. As I said, their art is different. Their earning, their livelihood is from different source. At times it could be the same, but they care to produce something more meaningful to them. I'll just share some more. I don't know, every time I have to keep going back. So that is, I don't understand why that is happening.
But even these two paintings are so different from the kind of stuff you see all the
Yes. So like this is Prajakta Potnis. Maybe you might have seen her works because she's from JJ School of Arts, and her works are on environmental degradation, genetically modified food, things which are, of urban fear and urban issues. So she works on that. Oh, great. Can you see this now?
No.
That Prajakta Potnis, could you see?
We can see you.
Oh, now can you see this? Can you
No,
see
Bina.
No? Oh, so then can you see now?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Prajakta Potnis, and my folder refuses to move, so I'm sorry. Every time I'll have to go back and share again. So I'll not be able to maybe show you so many photographs because it will take so much of our time. But this fellow, can you see him?
No, not now. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so he is Dheer Kaku, and I have seen his installation in Bombay, one of the galleries, and he is into digital media. So every time there were many videos installed, and every time you pass a screen, it used to change. So it was something very interesting. So I- here is another very interesting artist, Madhu Das. He works with public spaces and private spaces and the boundaries and how people interact with spaces. So this is something very interesting if you can see it. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So then this is what contemporary artists are doing. Besides, of course, the works of artists that we know. These are not so well known, but they are doing interesting work.
It is very interesting, very different.
Now, how do I come back? Okay, so I'm back now with you. Great.
Okay. So, Bina,
Yes.
will you tell us something interesting about the museums that you have visited, or your experience with the course in Sotheby's that you have done?
See, you know what? When again, like I'll have a lot of problems showing you the photographs, but when I went through the chat on the group, there was a lot of interest in Frida Kahlo's work, and I have visited Kahlo's museum in Mexico City, and like I'll show you just one or two photographs, not all, so that it doesn't take too much time. But it was a very interesting museum. They used to live there. Frida married Diego Rivera, who was a muralist of during the same time. He was also very well known in Mexico, and he became very popular because he employed a lot of Mexican workers to create the mosaic art and the murals that he was working with. And Frida married him when she was 22 and he was 44. And they had a very tumultuous relationship. They both were it was very shocking for Frida that Rivera had an affair with his sister, with her sister, and they parted ways, and then they got married again. But that is their personal life story, which is very common to a lot of artists. Maybe it's the creative genius in them, or the temperament, or what that makes their lives so. Like back home also, we know so many artists who have gone through these kind of I'll just show you some photograph.
She started with doing her personal portraits, right?
Yes, so I'll just show you that only. I wish I can show everything in one go, but can you see this now?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is in the entrance of the museum, and this is a portrait done by Frida. And this is like, if you go to see the artwork in detail, either they are holding the hand or she's leaving his hand. Like, if you just see it in detail, you will feel there is that pigeon with white ribbons. So maybe she wants more peace in the relationship or whatever. Like, one can think of so many things looking at artworks. So I'll just show you one or two more works by them. There is a sketch by Frida.
That pigeon thing was very nice. Talks.
When they got married, Frida was very frail and tiny, and Divego was a huge fellow. So the family members called them the elephant and the dove pair. We'll just see like how they were. Actually, this is. Can you see it?
Yes.
So
This is you.
So this is actually Janak and me visiting the museum. The photography was not allowed inside the museum, but there was this poster of Frida and Divego. So for a change, I felt very nice. So I'll just show you some of the sketches. Actually, I created this folder specially so that I can go through things fast, but it is taking a lot of time. But here is one of... can you see this?
Not yet. Okay.
Not
Yes.
Yes. So this is again a portrait done by Frida of herself and Devego. And there is one more sketch I would like to show, done by Devego of Frida. And that is, again, like every time I have to share the screen. That's the problem that's happening. So this is a sketch of Frida done by Devego. So can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in the museum, there were there were like many rooms, because it was their own house that they had given it to be turned into a museum. And like the one room had a lot of corsets and the calipers and the stuff that was worn by Frida because of her challenges. She had started wearing Mexican dress so that she could hide all the supporting frames that she had to wear to keep herself upright. One room had, it was their kitchen. One room had a lot of works by Devego, and then there were a lot of their personal belongings displayed. It was very interesting to be there, but equally interesting as when I was doing this being a curator in 21st century course with the Sadhbis. They took us to many places, and one of them was Highline, which has come up in Meatpacking District. It was abundant railway tracks and old factories and stuff, that kind of area, which was not used. Bad elements had taken over. So instead, this Highline was created, which has a beautiful walkway along with the Hudson River. And there was this building which had different glass panels in different colors of hues, different hues of colors. And it was so interesting to know that an artist had taken photographs of reflection of sun in the water at different times, different intervals, with different, you will know better, with different techniques of photography. And then he had sort of recreated that in the glass, the effect of the photography. So like that, there are so many interesting works happening. Very recently, on my last visit, I got to see this vessel, which is really become very popular. It is a sculpture, but looks more like a building. I'll just show you a photograph and talk a little bit about that and hand it over to you, Pinki. Just one more photograph. Can you see?
No.
No?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a 150 feet tall building, and like 150 different staircases are joined, and one can walk all over the building. And it is made from copper and glass and mirror, and it is an amazing structure. So even in sculpture, originally there were stationary sculptures. Then Alexander Calder, if you have seen the mobiles were brought in by him. And then the kinetic sculptures came into existence, and that is very interesting. I'll just show one more photograph, which is in the entrance of Kolkata Center for Creativity. And just one.
Where was the sculpture?
It was in Kolkata. There is this Center for Creativity, which has recently come up, and it is created by an Australian artist. I think I have the details somewhere. Can you see the sculpture?
No.
Like it,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
again, this was a huge thing. It was like maybe 50-60 meter long. But when you start walking inside, everything would open up. Like you walk and the path would keep opening up in front of you.
What is this made up of?
It is jute. Can you see now the jute, thick jute strands and wood?
So it's bricks?
No. It was something like a thick jute blocks or something.
Okay.
They were like not wires, but
Beautiful.
the stick-like things going, and that would move with the pressure of your feet on the wooden plank on which you are walking. And so
Interesting.
that is how that whole thing was created. Nowadays, a lot of kinetic sculptures are there. Okay, so Pinki, I think over to you, because
Thank you, Bina ma'am. It
um,
was so much new to
There
learn.
is so much information. Amazing.
art is my passion. I can
Amazing.
go on talking about it, but the time doesn't permit. So, Pinki, I would like to ask you, how did you get into photography?
Oh, so I had been blessed with a guru or a mentor that you can say, Taruna Patel. And I went to him and he said that you don't see. And I said, what do you mean by you don't see? And he says that you need to see each and every detail wherever that you travel or wherever that you go. And that is how he made me lift the camera. And through the lens, he asked me to see. And it was so fascinating that lifting up the camera, I was not aware of all the silhouettes that came out or all the minor things that I was not noticing before. And I started seeing. So to see was the reason for me to lift up the camera.
That's great.
That is so beautiful, Pinki. Sorry, I should
you are very good at street photography, Pinki, I believe. So tell me, how does one take a right shot at the right time on the streets?
Okay, so street photography is something that is impermanence. Like you're seeing something now and it will not be there at the very next second. So I think it's a combination of one's intuition that one clicks pictures. You cannot totally depend on the images that you have in the mind to click. You have to be on your toes and start moving out and try seeing the things and ask for the things that I need to wait. I'll wait for certain time to get the right moment. And if you get the right moment, it's like how Raghurai goes on saying that if I get the right moment, I will say that Allah mujhe thoda aur de de. And then I'm not satisfied. Then I move further and then he again says, Abhi thoda aur. And he again goes further and says, Abhi thoda aur. And now you have given me the fullest and now I'm so satisfied. So hunger behind the shot that you want to take or the thing that you want to communicate is something in the street photography you will have the right shot. You just have to pick up the camera and start moving. And the thing that you get, like the impression of the street photography, I think, because it's more of a light that you play. So mornings and evening lights are the best time that you can be on the streets. So
Pinki, I love that line, hunger behind whatever. It's very beautiful. Hunger
thank
behind
you so
when
much,
you
Anu.
speak.
So, Pinki, tell us something about the impact of these new softwares on photography, on the art of photography.
So according to me, people manipulate the image to such an extent that you will not know what is the image that they have actually clicked. So it kills the real essence of the photography. So photoshopping an image is like a plastic thing, according to me. You should be very true to the picture, not cropping the image or not adding the colors to it. So this is something that is still controversial and still people are talking about it. Like a lot of photography competitions won't allow anything like this to be done. But some basic things are allowed, like cropping or basic correction in the images and stuff like that. I believe that if you are looking at an image which says that this is something that really appeals me, then it will fit into the measurements of saying that 1/3, 1/3/4, the combination of 1/3, 3/4, something like that. So it will really have the image that doesn't need to be cropped. As morning light I was talking about, so you need light corrections also. And if you're really deprived of the light and using a flash, which I really don't use, but I think that's okay to use a flashlight if you are doing a night photography. Street photography doesn't need anything like that. And to me, the softwares are no, actually no to me. It's for the people to understand the actual thing. That's what you're looking through your eyes.
So then tell us, what are your experiences and what are your ethics that you follow?
Okay, so for the experiences, I will say that you can go on and on clicking pictures, but I'll go on referring Dashrath Bhai all the time. He was a Patel and he used to say that if you want to click a picture, then you're not clicking dogs, monkey, and sunset. By that, he meant was that is obvious that everybody sees. So why you are one more that you want your audience to see the same things? Sunset is beautiful, which everybody appreciates. What is more to a sunset that you're looking is something that is beyond a photographer's vision. So the excitement of somebody enjoying a sunset is the expression that you need to be clicking rather than the sunset being clicked. So he was pointing out on something which is very different and which is very obvious. He says nowadays people, everybody in their hand is having a camera with through the mobile or through any ways. But to me, most of the people are engaging into photography to click personal pictures. 90% of people are clicking pictures which are very personal. So either it can be selfies or families or friends or whatever. So you are trying to show them something which they really miss on. So if you are trying to convey something to a photograph, so it should be a photo essay. It should be a medium of communication which is taking you across. It should be something like a photojournalism that it can come into the picture. Since I'm doing photography, like I'm into the streets, I'll talk about all these. Like these are all the things that matters to me.
Pinki, show us some of your works.
Yeah, okay. I'll share my screen and I'll show you some of my works and talk on that.
Just by the way, follow her on Insta. Amazing. It's all very amazing.
Okay, can you see this image?
Yes, like we can see thumbnails.
Huh?
We can only see thumbnails, Pinki, not big ones.
Okay. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So this was the image that I clicked on SG Highway. And this is trying to frame it so very well. And it attracted me so much that the hut behind is made only of plastic. But the whole hangings and everything that a person is trying to sell to a truck driver is making that frame very interesting. So this was not that his hut is decorated, but something that you're looking beyond the person who's trying to sit over there. And
so isn't that ironic that his own surroundings are very drab, but the stuff that he's selling is so colorful and vibrant?
And it looks like a painting. It looks like a painting.
Yes, so
yeah,
much.
it is an irony, but these people are more than self-contented.
Yes.
So if you go talk to them, then they are like they are living in their own palace. Now this image, this is a very obvious image that we go on seeing on our day-to-day basis. Like such images are the images that really attract me is how do people decorate their own shop or their own thela that people sell the vegetables, or the own shop where they are having multiple things in their shop. So what is the arrangement that these people do? Like if you have noticed the old city houses, people used to arrange the vessels also in a manner that people come to the house and they appreciate the decorations in the house. So these are the things which are very Indian, and these are the people who have not learned the design, or they have not learned anything on display, and still they are so striking and wonderful to me.
So if you see the color scheme, there's green, there's yellow, then there's multicolored, there's leheria, there's bandi. It's very beautiful. And
The
you
way
caught
they
it
display,
so well.
I love the things. Okay, so this was the image that I took when I went to Nal Sarovar. I went for bird photography and looking at birds, but these are the huts that impressed me to a great extent. Like the interior of the house is so very clean and so very nicely arranged things are there inside the hut that really impressed me.
Yes, it is very nice, very beautiful.
Okay. So this image is telling you something, that silhouettes are also that very interesting, more than the colors that you see. This was taken at Adalajni Stepwell. It's right beneath where you go. And most of the people try showing that Adalajni Vav is like, all the carvings and the steps and everything that you go on seeing. But if you see the two fishes behind these two women, yeah, then it's easily, a person can say this is Adalajni Vav. Right? Okay, so I will talk about, like, this was in the Kalupur Shak Market.
This is so beautiful. It's like a feminist poem, a feminist painting too.
This attracted me that in such a huge crowd, this lady who is disabled is so comfortable buying her own things. Okay, so now this is something that was very recent, before 2 years, that I tried clicking the pictures of the bicycles in their commercial usage in our country. Now the bicycles are used more, like people have taken back the bicycles and they are selling more because of the health. But in our India, the bicycle was taken like more of the commercial use. Everything and anything that you can imagine is sold on a bicycle. So every service that reaches my door of my house is the commercially that I'm thinking of. I can have everybody in my society selling anything and everything that I can imagine. And this is a barber shop on a bicycle. And this is like you are passing every day. This is my everyday road that I'm passing. This is IIM wall. Right?
So I love the shoes and the chata in the background, the umbrella. Is that an umbrella, the blue umbrella, and the shoes, the white shoes, I think?
No, that's not the shoes. That's his bag, which contains the material that he needs for the use.
No, right behind
the chair, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not the shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not the shoes. That's the girl traveling on the bicycle, and I love the speed. I've tried to take on the speed because we are always in a rush to go back to go to the school, meet friends and do dhamal masti. Okay, so this is a photo story that I have been associated with several artists. This is Hakusha. He was having an Alzheimer and was in his, he was forgetting things, but to him the art was Like if you give him a charcoal and he's so swiftly doing the things on the canvas, he is amazing doing the things. I have seen that he will forget the name of each and everybody other than the wife. And if he is forgetting something and Vilu auntie says, Haku, where did Pela apne kya gaya tha? Then immediately the answer will come. Other than Vilu auntie, I have not seen him answering anybody. But to him, whatever the Vilu auntie says, he has lovely memories. So I have few memories of visiting his house. This is again Rajan and Hakubai, the dearest friendship. Both are suffering from Alzheimer. So that's something that I really appreciate, and I love both artists' work.
Beautiful.
This is the eye contact between Hakubai and the Vilu auntie when he's practicing to walk because he can't stably stand himself. Enjoying the mango in the summer season. I think this is so awesome.
This is so beautiful. Yeah, really.
So, these are the few photo essays that I've tried capturing. And through my photos, I usually tell pictures, like my pictures or anybody else, like the message that you want to pass on to the people has to be something very positive. It like I don't show any negative pictures. Maybe that I've clicked the negative pictures also. That's for my personal reference. And that's not to show anybody else. And as Bina man asked me, what are your personal ethics? One of the ethics that I conduct is if I click a picture wherever I am, but I will not post it on the social media unless and until I take the permission. So you need to be rest assured that a picture clicked by me will never be shown on a social media, never ever. So that are some rules and regulations that person should follow. I think it's like a personal yes and no for somebody to say that you click a picture, that's all right. But that's not for the social media. So if I'm clicking this picture, that cannot be for the social media, but he was comfortable, his children were comfortable, and this is the first time that I'm showing you all these. I have not done this before at all. If I have time permits, this is exactly behind like my neighborhood CN Vidyalaya where I stay. And this tree was bearing no leaves, and they are only sparrows, like the birds that are sitting on the branches. So this was when the Kensville was getting done. It was not come up. It was only the land that was, and the landscaping was getting done. So it was totally a barren land and the landscaping was being done. So I was waiting and waiting for something to happen, for picture to make. And these ladies who are working in the garden as the laborers now are getting up and lifting themselves up, being very happy that now is the lunchtime.
I love their steel dabbas. Some have 3, some have 4, some have 2.
Yeah. So do I share more? Quickly. This is, I can't miss on. This is exactly like I cross my Shreyas Bridge and there the Modi celebration being a prime minister. This is in your own city. This is, you can see a BRTS bus stand right there on the roads. People being so excited, so colorful. Look at the thrill. Okay, so this picture I'm trying to show, Sarkhej Roja, is people talk about the rules, like which is the good picture, which is the right combination. So these 3 people making a triangle is considered to be a very good image that one can really ask for. This is again on the roads of Kensville to Nal Sarovar that I asked my husband, stop, 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 stop. I have something seen very some beautiful. And I get those amazing pictures. And these are 3 saras. Usually you can see 4 saras. They are always in a pair. But these are 3. And 2 are really enjoying and 1 is seeing them enjoy. And this was so mysterious, and this was, the whole atmosphere was really coming up really very well. Okay, so this is again a photo essay of how the earthen pots that we drink water are being done. And this was, to my experience, the first photo essay that I would have done lifting up the camera. So how the clay is needed, where the clay comes from, how that is unloaded, everything that I have. But these are the few images. And I was not knowing before that earthen pot is small and then they beat it up to make it big. So they are not on the potter's wheel made big as they look. So they beat it up with this and then they make it big. These are the pots that they have done. So what happens is, in Kumbharwada, every house is given, in 15 days, the kiln will be given to them. So they can bake their products. So for 15 days, they go on producing the pots that they can. And after 15 days, they will be arranging like this. This is the kiln that they will get after 15 days. So this is where and how they are baked. This
Beautiful.
is awesome. Yeah.
This is so awesome. Wow.
So that's the first photo essay that I've tried lifting up the camera that I made. This is again on Al Sarovar, the image that I was really dying to make for. But more than that, now that I'm looking at my pictures, I will not like this image. I like the image of the house that I clicked.
This is beautiful. I don't know why you don't like it.
No, I like it, but it's still something that I have not seen or appreciated before. This I would have seen, like some nature photographer would have done something like that. No? And that was my first surprise. And I will read out like some of the quotes written by Dashrath Bhai. That will be really nice. If you don't make things of your own, surprise, then you will become like an baker, every day making the same round bread to sell. So that says that you have to surprise yourself every now and then. And if you don't do that, then you are doing the same old routine things that a person is doing. Okay, so I'll wind up saying one more quote of his. I learned the principle that minimum can communicate maximum. You don't need to overdo or overstate. The most simple is the most difficult thing. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Anu, do you have time to show me, like I can show you this Rath Yatra photo essay?
Yes, of course, of course. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is before the 3 days of Rath Yatra, people paint the elephants. These women have a great time working together, making the prasads. This is in the temple of Jagannath. So this is exactly, I wanted the temple and the chief minister and the priest together in the picture. So this is the,
It's beautiful.
this is what I want to capture. One Rath Yatra that I did completely of saying that, look at the faith in the people, the excitement these people have looking at the Rath Yatra. Everybody covers the Rath. And these are the expressions, and this is what India is all about. No, these are my people, and this is something that I really appreciate.
True.
Okay, thank you.
So, Pinki, have you ever had an exhibition?
Oh, I had one in 2010 under the guidance of Dashrath Bhai. And that exhibition was something that really gave me a boost of selecting the pictures to displaying the pictures. And that exhibition taught me a million things. And I have not done exhibition after that is only to believe that after the exhibition that was over, all the money spent and all the things done after one exhibition was something that really cut me off, saying that these many frames, I don't know where to store it. That was the first. The second was like, why do I need to showcase myself in the gallery? I need to have some reason to showcase myself. And there are not enough reasons for showcasing myself. The people who are interested in looking at my work will tell me, and I'll welcome them at home and I'll show them my work. And I'm quite satisfied doing such things. So the second exhibition, everybody goes on telling me that when are you coming out with your second exhibition? I'm like, no ways. I'm not coming out with any exhibition. Something that I am doing is for me, for my friends and my first circle to know, and for my own growth, and nothing to exhibit. I think I have not reached the stage to exhibit. People used to exhibit after doing, I think, more than 20 years or 10 years of their work minimum. Which I'm still very young and still very raw to exhibit myself. I still don't consider myself to be in the art galleries.
And you have such high benchmarks as the Shraddha and also.
If I'm 5% of it also, I'll be very grateful and thankful.
So before we end and Rajika gives the vote of thanks, I just want to tell you the amount of people who have Pinki, the Potter's essay was very impressive. Bina, I loved your explanation of Frida and the portrait with the guy on her forehead. Then excellent clarity, awesome. If you love the love between the couple, beautiful captures, brilliant. Thank you, Bina, for adding to knowledge. And this also gives an impression a sari is exhibited like someone is having their hands wide open and welcoming you. Lovely photographs, Pinki, a mirror of socio-cultural aspects. So beautiful, like a vibrant painting. So I can just go on and on. Everybody has just gone crazy about both of you. Thank you so much. And of course, anybody wants to ask any questions to these two powerhouse of knowledge and talent? Shilpa, if you want to. Nobody can hear me, I think.
I think we have said so much that everybody has had enough of us.
No.
I think so, Bina.
I think they're overwhelmed. I think they're just overwhelmed with all the knowledge. Not like that at all.
And at the moment, I can only think of so many things that I couldn't share.
We'll have another session. What is the hurry?
And how I said, Bina, that the person who are interested in meet one-on-one.
There is this sketch art, like I'm very fond of it. I'll just show you two photographs which are here. Like these are by Rajeshwar Rao. If you have heard of Chitra Ganeshan, Rajeshwar Rao, like they are into art which is little garish, and this particular photographs that I showed you has one. The king has killed the tiger and he is standing with his foot over the body of the tiger. And the title of the photograph is "I'm Still Alive." Oh. And the other one is like he is. We all know that princely states started doing. They started doing not so well after the states were sort of merged into India, so their income stopped and all. So like he is sitting in his surroundings and just enjoying his cup of tea with bare minimum essentials, and he's saying, "Ek cup or chai." So look up Chitra Ganeshan's works also. They are also quite interesting if you like this kind of art. So Anu, it was lovely. We really enjoyed Pinki's works. And
somebody has a question. One sec. How does an art piece gets up the ladder? Somebody just asked this.
See, that again is a very, the commercial aspect of art is very, I would say, there is a definitely a nexus between the gallery and the artist and the art dealers. We don't have secondary market in India. I mean, not that well established. Otherwise, sometimes the secondary market becomes an indication of the artist standing. But normally, galleries sometimes just declare the artwork sold out. The whole show is sold out, and then they jack up the prices of that artist, and then in the next show you will get that artist's work at a higher price. So there are a lot of different types of practices employed by galleries, which is done world over. So if you talk about Charles Saatchi and Damien Hirst, that Charles Saatchi was a very well-known art dealer, and Damien Hirst came with his exhibition to Bombay also. He's also a very well-known artist. They had a huge show, and all the works were sold out. So, and then the Damien Hirst reached a next level. So there are these stories everywhere. Like you must have heard of, Anu, since you are so fond of surfing, the nexus between the Christies and the Sadbis. Yeah, and they ran away because they were having an affair. But before that, they had a nexus about the pricing and how the works were auctioned and all. So these are nothing new, but I still feel that for any artist to reach a certain level, the talent has to be there. Then all these things take over. But basically, talented artists, I mean, I would hardly find any artwork that has reached a certain level without much substance.
So Shilpa is asking that she has 4 of the best of Hakusha's art. So how much would it be priced? Shilpa just asked.
At the moment, Hakusha, depends on the size, what size she has, but would be selling anything from 5 lakh to 10 lakhs, depends on the size. If they are small work, I don't know. But like we had bought one of his work, I bought it for my sister. It was a 3x3 work, and we had paid the 3 lakh, say 10 years back, or maybe 15 years back. So, and now that Hakusha is no more, I'm sure the pricing has gone up, but one needs to go and check with the gallery that you bought from.
She said, I bought according to the price per feet, something like that.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's usually like that.
Yeah, it is like that.
And she bought directly from him.
Oh, but if she has a certificate, and so then she can put it on, there are these sites where you can sell your artworks. So you can put it up on that, or you can get in touch with gallery owners who would like they will have it in their collection. So as and when it is sold, she would be informed about that. Or she can just send the pictures to the owners, and if required, she can take the artwork to them.
So we have just one last question because we are running out of time. Nandita has asked about some experience of your India Art Fair.
That was really very interesting. Again, as I said, that Jitish Kalat, that skeleton of the car, that was in the entrance, and a lot of installations were there. And that time, I think that was second year or third year of India Art Summit. It was not known as Art Fair that time. only after it was taken over. Now it is called Art Fair. That time it was called India Art Summit. And it was really interesting because it was Delhi, and interacting with the buyers was a totally different experience. I could sell a lot of works, and one of the buyer, I still remember his name, Carla. Kalra is a Punjabi surname, right, Anu?
Yeah.
So he bought Bharti Prajapati's works, and he just said, why don't you only come to deliver the works? I have a lot of other artwork collection. And it was really wonderful to see his collection. So I got to interact with a lot of people, lot of other gallery owners, because it was like you are there for 3 days. So you go and see other galleries, what kind of work they bring. So there were these few galleries which had come from abroad. So it was really very interesting.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Radhika will now do the room.
Thank you, Anu.
Thank you, both of you. We just got to know so much, so much. All of us, I think, here in the Zoom call will agree that it was like amazing, and so knowledgeable.
Thank you.
As Anu said, let's keep it short because we're running out of time, and she's thanked everybody. Thank you, Bina, Pinki. It's really been an illuminating conversation. And you guys are so brilliant at your work. Seriously. As Pablo Picasso once said, that I begin with an idea and then it becomes something else. This is what you guys have done. You really made it something else. And Bina, you've given us such a wonderful insight into the new, into contemporary and new artists, upcoming artists too. So it was really nice to know about them. And the work was so lovely that you showed. I know, yes, your picture in the Frida Kahlo Museum, that was too cute, yours and Charak's, you know, that was lovely. So keep it up. Pinki, your work was super. It was uniquely brilliant. Really, your expression through photography is excellent, and we really like to see your work. So thanks for sharing it.
Thank
you once again, Bina, Pinki. It was lovely listening to you.
But when you see the modern art, you get so inspired that you can also do it. I mean, the modern.
I would like to thank everybody who stayed throughout the meeting.